Happiness through curiosity on the Ranveer Show. What is Vedanta?
One of my favorite topics. I'm glad you're talking about it. Vedanta is something which is the goal of human birth. And it is not going to happen when you die. It is going to happen when you start understanding now. With that understanding, it will give you the experience that at the end, this is my journey because I am not this body, not this mind, not this intellect.
Philosophy?
Philosophy and experiential both. And sadhana also.
So, what is the experiential and sadhana about?
So when I talk about, now I'm talking about Adi Shankaracharya, then we'll come to Paramahansa Ramkrishan ji, and then we'll come
Sure.
So Adi Shankaracharya the Great, he got something very important that is known as Vedanta. It was already existing, but he got it out. What he said in simple language, that, I'm putting in my words of course, because nothing is constant in your life. Nothing is constant. And if you think that everything is constant, name it. For example, Arba, I'm asking you, what is constant in your life? Tell me one thing that has been constant.
My mother.
But eventually,
Yeah.
my mother's going to die, your mother's going to die. That emotion will also change with time about mother, which you have been experiencing. If your body is constant, we know the body is constantly changing. Then what is constant?
God.
But have we seen God? So very practically we'll talk. There's only one thing constant. That is your Atman. You called it soul. Soul is a wrong term in English because when we use the term soul, it means multiple soul. We call it the Brahman. That is only constant.
Consciousness?
Consciousness, you can call it. In fact, they call it Satchitanand. That is consciousness. From this consciousness, the deities have come. Everything has come from this consciousness.
The same life force that flows through me and you.
Perfect.
Okay.
That is what. Our end goal of life is to realize that. And practically how to apply it, I personally applied it, has worked wonders. In Upanishad is given called Neti Neti. Means whenever I'm entangled in a situation, I tell myself, I'm not this situation. I'm not this passing emotion. I'm not running away from the situation, but I'm being aware through my intellect that even if I'm very happy today, after 4-5 ghanta, I'll be very, very sad. And I'm very, very sad. It won't last forever because next morning I'll be happy. What should I do? I should be in between. That is the first step of sadhana. This is for people like us who are very, very practical. Oh, I can't do jap. Oh, I can't do pranayam. But this is sadhana. When suppose I had a fight with you very bad. I don't want to fight. Okay, Arba is angry. I'm not this. After half an hour, I'll talk to you. But this coming to this emotion and actually experiencing it, I need to do neti neti. I'm not this, I'm not that. Then who are you? You are pure consciousness. That is actually, even in Tantra, when that Shakti meets Shiv, that Shiv is pure consciousness. When Kal Bhairav will take you in your journey inward through all the chakras, or he'll give you his glimpse, the main roop, you will realize that it is bliss. And that state is profound love and unconditional love. We are all conditioned lovers. All of us.
I always assumed that Vedanta is the learnings from the Vedas.
So, very interesting. You're talking about Ved, no? How do I start? You want me to go all out about Ved? Or you want me to come back to Vedanta? Because we are opening dimensions which are...
It's two different things?
No, actually, when we talk about Ved, Ved has 4 parts. Rig Ved, Yajur Ved, Samved, Atharva Ved. And they all play different roles. After the Ved, there are 4 parts. Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, Upanishad. Upanishad is the part where we talk about the self, the Atman. So the entire teaching of the Vedas, when you come to the final conclusion, is I am pure consciousness. That means when you evolve on the path, Ramana Maharishi the Great used to he never gave mantra. He gave mantra to few people. That is a mystery. But used to uplift people just through eyes and his presence. And anyone would come with any agony, pain, suffering in his presence because he tuned to that consciousness. So that are the teachings of Vedanta in simple. It's the highest. There is no talk required. There is no nothing required. In fact, in Tantra, there are higher gurus who can come to your dreams or who can communicate to you and give you something so that your job is done. That can also happen. Coming back to Vedanta, let me put it in simple language. As you mentioned, the sun, the water, this candle, you, me, there is one energy which is looking after everything. The moment you let go of your mind, the moment you let go of this identity, and the moment you let go of this binding and bonding to material things, what will remain is just presence. And that is the teaching of Vedanta. There is very amazing, no? There is, we call it the Frog Upanishad. So there are 3 states that we have, which everyone knows about it. The awake state that I'm talking to you, the dream state. Even in dream, there are multiple states. There are 5 to 6 kinds of dreams that we go through. And there is a deep sleep state. Okay. Now, if Arba, you're telling me that I am this body or I am this, but you're not constant, you're changing. Suppose if I'm going in other states also, even that is changing. But there is one state which governs everything. If you are in that state, you don't need sadhana. You have become sadhana. So, like Adi Shankara, when he reached his highest, or even Ramana Maharishi, they did no sadhana. Their presence was sadhana.
Is this Turiya?
It is Turiya. It is Turiya. In fact, so there is a state where suppose Arba you are here, and this is Turiya. In that, you will go to multiple states, different devatas, or God consciousness, or maybe lower deity consciousness, or maybe cosmic consciousness, or maybe nature consciousness till you reach Turiya. If you have reached Turiya, then as Thakurji said, no one can stay in the body for more than 21 days.
After reaching Turiya?
After reaching, because even the sattva is over. Finished. There will be, all the karmas will be. In fact, Vedanta says that there are Jivan Muktas. Even after attaining that state, you can operate in this world, uplift others. But Thakurji said that if I, in his personal experience, when Shardama was asking him that, there's a very amazing story. Thakurji used to love food, I don't know if you know much about him, but he was a great Tantric. In fact, he was a great Agora. Agor is something which means pure, gentle. Gor is terrible. He was Agor. So one day in his sadhana, he was so tempted because he was craving for a kheer. And he was very, very tempted. Then he realized, again, duality came. He realized that, this will again bind me. How do I balance it? He started eating fecal matter. Because he was in that state where everything was one. After eating that, he realized that even this is temporary and this is temporary. And again, he went into another state, which is Turiya. And in that state, the body just stops. And he used to go so much in Turiya that he used to salivate and he used to dance. My point again is going in Turiya, and he told Shardama, what is your craving for food all the time? Then he told her, the day I stop eating food, I will leave the body. And after a few months, there was an incident where she got his favorite food. He just didn't say anything after 4-5 days. So in that state, you become masters of the body.
Is this beyond what people understand as moksha or enlightenment, or is it the same?
See, when we call moksha enlightenment, I've been seeing people define it very, very differently. But when we talk moksha normally, who's completely new, moksha for us is a state where you are in a state where you're unaffected by anything. You're judgment-free, you're hassle-free, and you're experiencing unconditional love. That means even for the small dog there, to the greatest saint here, everyone is equal. Now, when we talk moksha from these great saints' point of view, they were living gods on earth, walking gods. They had the power to uplift others. In Tantra, there are different dikshas given. The first diksha that we start is mantra jap, which we all are doing. The highest diksha is the Purna Abhishek, where you have become one with the Guru, you have become one with the deity, and you have only one agenda, is to uplift others. So your presence will talk. That moksha is where we terminate. But for beginners like us, when I say, I'm in a state of bliss, or I'm in a state of non-suffering, you are initially moving towards moksha.
What did Gautam Buddha reach?
Gautam Buddha, he is the one who got ahimsa out. Ahimsa was always there. He got the one. I think Gautam Buddha was when Buddha was there, he wanted nothing. He expected nothing. And he was a great being and a state of being. But when he talks about moksha, he talks about shunya. Now, this is where Bhagavad Gita and Buddhism is very different. When we, from Tantric point of view also, or from Bhagavad Gita, from the Vedic point of view, talk about moksha, it is not empty. It is an experience where you're full of everything. Full of compassion, full of love, full one with the mountains, trees, everything. But when Gautam Buddha spoke about moksha, he said it is shunya, which means empty. There are controversies, but I think he had experienced. And also in Buddhism, they believe that there are two types of Buddhas. One who get moksha will never come back. And other, they will come back to uplift others. So unka philosophy alag hai. But I think Gautam Buddha, he had experienced the pinnacle.
Okay. Coming back to what we were talking about originally.
Yes.
You said, I can't remember who you named, but you said someone used to follow Vedanta as well as Tantra.
Adi Shankara the Great.
Adi Shankaracharya.
Adi Shankara the Great.
So I understand that Tantra contains practices and disciplines,
Definitely.
right? When you're saying that Vedanta is also part of it, are there different disciplines added in, different routines, different practices?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I talk about Tantra, see now Vedanta doesn't believe in deity. Vedanta believes that everything is one. You are one, I am one, this mic is one, everything is coming from the same source. But now the problem is, I can't comprehend this. This is too much for me. How can this be one? And if you slap me, I'll feel pain. How can this be one? For people like us, we need a form that we can hold on. And that form interacts with you. So the more you start, have you realized, the moment we stop worshipping deities, also deities will vanish. There'll be no one to worship. So it is that connection. So you're worshipping deity, the deity also communicates. But when you actually start worshipping the deity, that deity will take you to formless. So Vedanta comes in this is the difference between Sanatana Dharma and religion. Sanatana Dharma gives you tools, methods, everything to reach the highest. Religion, you know how it works. There is only one God, follow that God. That is a problem. So bhakti done with ignorance is a problem. And Vedanta goes into different states also. For example, Vedanta says if you go in deep sleep, suppose Arba has gone to deep sleep completely. Where is Arba? There is no existence. There is no identity. There is no name, no surname, nothing. But when you come back again, you know that, okay, you know what? I have to take a podcast, I have to travel, again there is work. What is that gap? So they make you question intellectually. What is changing? What is not changing? That is the sadhana and Vedanta. Intellectually, cut you. But you're very highly emotional, then hold on to a deity. But in suppose Atharva case, he just loves working. So they have given Karma Yoga in which it is trained that do every job by seeing the divine. But Vedanta is the crux. Any sadhana.
How do you practice Vedanta?
Practicing Vedanta is very difficult because whenever we talk about Vedanta, people are just confused. They are saying kuch samajh mein nahi aa raha hai, kya ho raha hai. The basic crux of Vedanta is just watching everything. Just watching and not reacting. So if someone is dying, watch it. If you're being very happy today, watch it. If you're being very, very sad, watch it. That watching of that emotion will help you to realize that nothing is permanent.
Okay.
Practical.
Okay. If you enjoyed this clip from The Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.